Hello, everyone. Welcome to this channel. As a construction director with over 30 years' experience in electromechanical design and installation, I am pleased to present this series of videos where we will talk about how to accurately budget for your projects. What is presented here will be useful to those starting out in the industry or those looking to improve their estimating skills. The quotation process must be carried out carefully in order to obtain a reliable price to ensure that the project can be completed smoothly and at a financial profit. If you do not take the above into account, you run the risk of winning not a job, but a problem. In this series of 6 short videos, we will look at the steps and precautions that need to be taken to provide an accurate quote. We will explain how to estimate the cost of direct and indirect materials, direct and indirect labor, and the equipment and machinery required for the project. We'll also look at how to factor in potential contingencies and how to calculate an appropriate profit margin. As well as theoretical concepts, we will also give practical examples of how to apply this knowledge in real situations. Will we answer common questions such as how to deal with project changes during the bidding process, how to deal with competition and maintain competitive pricing. So join us for this series of videos on how to estimate accurately in the construction and electromechanical installation industries. Content. In this video, number 1 in a series of 6, we will cover the following topics: studying the tender documents, visiting the site, conducting discussions with the purchaser, evaluating the cost of detailed engineering. Video content number 2. The cost estimators of the bidding company are responsible for reviewing in detail the entire bidding document and the attached documentation sent by the acquirer or buyer in its invitation to bid. The study of this documentation is critical and must be carefully examined in its entirety before visiting the future work site. From this study, a series of questions arise that must be resolved or raised during the site visit. Site visit. The site visit must be carried out by experienced personnel who are able to detect any detail that may affect the performance of the personnel and resources to be used during the execution of the work. By way of illustration, the tender must be accompanied by a certificate stating that the tenderer has carried out the site visit. Failure to provide this certificate may result in the tender being rejected. Site visit. Points to consider in the site visit. You will inquire about number and names of the other firms invited. With the name of the invited firms, you will be able to find out if the bidders have experience in similar works. In addition, you will investigate whether the other bidders have a presence in the region where the work is located. You will also talk to the other bidders and gather more information, such as their current workload. The figure on the right shows other very important points that you will need to clarify. Make inquiries to the acquirer. Questions that remain to be clarified are resolved through direct consultations with the purchaser. The bidder's questions and the purchaser's replies are sent simultaneously to all bidders in the form of a circular for their evaluation and inclusion in the costs after the deadline for submitting questions. The replies form part of the tender dossier. The record of the site visit and the answers to the bidder's questions communicated by the contracting authority are binding and form part of the bid. Evaluate the cost of detail engineering. Engineering in an industrial plant construction project comprises 3 main phases: conceptual engineering, basic engineering, and detailed engineering. It should be noted that, in the case of industrial plant construction, conceptual and basic engineering has usually already been subcontracted to third parties or carried out by the company's own personnel prior to the start of the tendering process. In any case, and by way of illustration, their characteristics are detailed below. Evaluate the cost of detail engineering. Basic engineering. Purpose. Basic engineering defines the general guidelines and basic ideas of the project. These ideas and definitions of the project are the pillars on which detailed engineering is based for the execution of the construction drawings. The basic engineering of a project can have a significant cost in relation to the construction cost. In some cases, the cost of basic engineering can equal or exceed the value of the construction cost of the project. This is the case with basic engineering, specifically designed to carry out transformation processes in industries such as petrochemicals and mining, or the purchase of patented engineering. Evaluate the cost of detail engineering. Detailed engineering. Purpose: to prepare the detailed drawings and documents required for the construction and commissioning of the project. Detailed engineering includes manufacturing and/or construction drawings, calculation memories, technical specifications, data sheets, as-built drawings, etc. And it has a cost that varies according to the type of project. To estimate the cost of this engineering, it is necessary to take into account not only the hours of specialists, designers, draftsmen, materials, etc., but also the following questions. Among others, knowing what the client's requirements are in terms of quality, level of detail, delivery times, and revision times for all the documentation that makes up the detail engineering. Evaluate the cost of detail engineering. With regard to the previous paragraph, it should be noted that the cost of engineering increases when the time required by the client to check each drawing and return it with or without comments is longer than usual. In some projects, especially in the case of extensions or repairs, there are interferences with the existing installations, and these must be resolved with a greater number of hours. In this type of situation, the cost of detailed engineering is usually determined by comparison with similar work. In other cases, the client provides some or all of the detailed engineering with the request for quotation. In the next video, number 2 in the series, we will develop how to identify the project's direct materials and calculate their cost, how to estimate direct labor costs, how to evaluate the equipment and machinery required for the project. We invite you to subscribe and join us in this series of videos that will cover the process of accurately estimating any construction project.